This is the Self-Aware Leader Podcast. Now your host, Jason Rigby.
I am back, super excited. Wanted to kind of go over personal and do a little bit of what is going on, in my life and why I haven't been podcasting very much. I've been podcasting a lot, actually. I've just been refocusing our energy, especially with our team's energy, on higher density living. And that podcast has been doing really, really well. I also started another podcast called Recovered Addict podcast, and I needed to get that off the ground, build some momentum. So I had been really working on that. And then I had some sickness hit me and had to go to the hospital, a lot of different things like that. And I work out, super healthy, eat good. So kind of didn't understand that, kind of got confused with all that, but figured it out, did some blood work. And so just had to go more super clean on my diet, no cheating. So I've gone, and I've done carnivore, I've done paleo, I've done everything, but they had me on some antibiotics. So I wanted to give things to my stomach that was not so hardcore. So I went plant-based. Like I said, I'm not vegan, carnivore. I hate when I even say that I'm plant-based because people be like, you don't eat meat, oh my God, or I can't believe you eat meat. This is what does well when my gut is in turmoil or I'm having issues. Usually I can clear things up when I go plant-based. Last year I was mostly keto. So, having super low carbs, eating a lot of meat and vegetables, and now I have a ton of carbs, but my body seems to be able to heal easier when I'm eating a ton of spinach, a ton of salads and stuff like that. That's for me. Each person's individual. So like I said, I'm not judging on that. But I kind of wanted to let you know. So I was having that, doing the 2 new podcasts, getting those up off the ground. They're doing really, really well. And I've had a bunch of you reach out, been like, hey, when's a new episode coming in? When's a new episode coming in? One of the things that I like to do, and I kind of push myself to do video, and I don't like doing video. I don't mind it if I'm with someone, because then I can just kind of, like on the Recovered Addict podcast or Higher Density Living podcast, I have a co-host that's with me, and we're sitting here and we're having a conversation. When I'm just staring at a camera, I really don't like doing that. Unless I had somebody here to film it and all that stuff. There's like the one-man show with all that. So I kind of get discouraged with that. But what I do love is what I'm doing right now, and that's audio. I'm just an audio guy. I would have been an old school radio dude. So I'm going to come back to having frequent, short episodes like I was doing before, but have it with audio. And I think that will be a lot better. And I personally feel like that fits me best. And you guys can, leave some notes and stuff like that if you want. But for me, this is the way it's going to go from here on out. And I think it's an important lesson. When you have new things coming on board, don't hesitate to put other things on pause. Because if you try to do it all, you're not going to be able to focus the time and attention that you need to be able to accomplish what you need to accomplish with getting that steam engine, that big railroad steam engine going, and you got to dump a lot of coal. I use this example a lot because it's so powerful. These big coal steam engines, that were old school railroads, you have to shovel so much. It's cold. It's just big chunk of metal that's cold. You have to get it warmed up and put the fire. Now, once it gets going down the track, like now with Recovered Addict Podcasts and Hard to See Living, I have those 2 podcasts. They're just chugging right along, doing good, growing every single day. That's awesome. But I had to pause other things to build the momentum for that. And I don't mind taking time away from other things to get something up that I'm passionate about. Because if I try to do the passionate thing half-ass, and then I'm still feeling pressure from having to do this thing, then I'm not going to do either or well, and I'm just going to feel pressured and like guilt and obligation. Then I'm doing things not out of love, I'm doing them out of fear. Because if you have, and this is a biblical principle, spiritual principle, the opposite of love is fear, and the opposite of fear is love. You can't have both. So when I'm leading in fear, guess what's happening? I'm not loving. And my higher self, the best version of me as a leader, is love. Service to others in love. So, and however that looks, and I'll do episodes on that because I think it's really important that we understand that love is not this timid, passive-aggressive thing. We look at that in our relationships and stuff like that, and we think that that's what love is. And I'm going to do a whole episode on that. I just want to do a quick update, let you guys know where I'm at, what's going on. I thank you. Some of you guys reached out. I really appreciate that. And I tried to DM all of you guys back on it, but we're back. We're doing this. I've got everything kind of calmed down. Everything's like going on pretty smooth right now. So I want to come back, bring some leadership to you guys. We're going to start off with some of my favorite topics. We're going to talk about decisiveness, uncertainty. That's going to be the next episode. Then we're going to have a marketing episode about what you should do with your marketing message. Like if you're building out a new website, solopreneur, maybe you're and I encourage you, if you know somebody that's starting out and they're trying to get their messaging down, their marketing messaging down, then I'm going to give you some quick steps. A great guy from Marketing Examine, Alex Garcia, he had these steps, and we're going to go over them, and it's going to be awesome, guys, with some of the new content that I have coming along. I'm going to do some spiritual content, too. It may be coming from a hermetic perspective. It may be coming from a tarot perspective, a biblical perspective. I'm going to bring all different kinds of perspectives that are out there. So some of you may be offended, some of you won't. But I think ancient wisdom, wherever it comes from, is extremely important. And we need to study that as a leader and know that that's part of being the self-aware leader.
Thank you for tuning in to the Self-Aware Leader Podcast with host Jason Rigby. We hope this episode has inspired you to unleash your full potential and embrace your inner leadership. By expanding your consciousness, you can transform your mind, body, and soul and become the remarkable leader you were always meant to be. If you found this episode valuable, please share it with your loved ones and help us expand our community. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to having you join us again on the Self-Aware Leader Podcast.